I'm Andre Huey and this is St. Martin Island Time TV News. Stones were hurled at candidates of the St. Martin Christian Party at the party's public meeting on Wednesday night. The party said it condemns in the strongest possible terms the use of projectiles and missiles that were hurled at party candidates during a meeting in Belvedere on Wednesday night. At about 9:15 p.m., huge rocks were flung over the perimeter fence of the Belvedere Community Center from a dark area, sending party supporters and onlookers scampering for cover. Many could be seen covering their heads with chairs to avoid being hit by the rocks. The SMCP suspended the meeting. It was shocking to see elderly people running for their lives as more than a dozen rocks of 9 inches and greater were hurled in successive swift action into the crowd and on stage, the party said. Prior to the stoning, the party had just concluded an opening prayer and declaration. The party believes that these prayers guided the missiles away from their intended target. Reports are that no police presence could be seen in the Belvedere area even after 30 minutes of registering a complaint. Initial search in the area to identify the culprits were futile. The incident was condemned by leader of the United People's Party, Theo Heiliger, and the Once and Martin Party leader, Lenny Priest. A development contract for the new General Hospital was signed this week, disclosed the Minister of Health, Emil Lee. The minister explained what the new hospital entails.
It includes a lot of extra parking, you'll see that. It also is going to include a heliport for emergency evacuations. The new hospital will include 6 new specialties: a neurology department, orthopedics department, neurology, ophthalmology, hematology, and pulmonology. 4 state-of-the-art operating theaters with limited heart intervention lab, as well as a dedicated dialysis department with 30 chairs with the possibility to increase up to 40 chairs. So again, hear that clearly, there is a dialysis department in the new hospital. Also, provisions for telemedicine, which will allow us to use modern technologies to help to diagnose people that are here. Using telemedicine allows them to consult with specialists in other places in the world. 110 beds, and each of the rooms will have either 1 bed or 2 beds. So this is a big change from where we are now. Some of the rooms have multiple beds in it, and we see people mixing from all different ages. It will have 6 dedicated ICU rooms, including a coronary care room, and up-to-date equipment, including an MRI scan and cath lab. So I would like to also explain a little bit about the financing. The contract that was signed still has a financing clause in it. We wanted to secure the progress that's been made, and we also wanted to continue with the timeline that we had laid out. Keep in mind that originally this contract was supposed to be signed at the end of August, but due to ongoing contract negotiations, the signing was a little bit delayed.
Collection of outstanding casino taxes have been yielding fruit, according to Minister of Finance Richard Gibson. The minister made this disclosure after announcing Wednesday at the Council of Ministers press briefing that the government would not be increasing the number plate taxes, as the previous administration sought to do.
I will not raise number plate taxes. I will instead go after the casinos, to force the casinos to pay instead of shifting the burden to the local population. And yesterday, based on the legislation that I handed to the receiver 4 or 5 weeks ago, the receiver took action, and 2 million guilders have been paid on those arrears. An agreement has been signed with them, which will bring about in October another 650,000 guilders going to be paid, and after that monthly 195,000 guilders. So with this, it can be shown that if you remain focused, steadfast, because the process to get us to this point has not been easy. 3 times the documentation for this legislation to give the receiver the tools to collect these casino fees disappeared. Nevertheless, I was relentless and continued the process, and now we can see the benefits that if you go ahead and collect the taxes that are outstanding, there's no reason to take the easy way out like the previous government tried to do and go and raise taxes on the population instead of collecting the taxes from these casinos.
Minister of Sports Sylvia Jacobs said on Wednesday that the repair of lights at the basketball courts in St. Peter's and the Middle Region has been an ongoing process and not an election ploy.
I would like to clarify that sports facilities that fall where each sports facility falls, because there's been some discussion in the public, oh, why only now? I must indicate that the sports facility or the basketball court at St. Peter's is the property in long lease of the Youth Council, which manages the St. Peter's or Rupert Maynard Community Center. The court in Middle Region is private property, which was donated to have this court realized, and it remains in the hands of the owners. It is not government's property. The Youth Council receives a subsidy through the Youth Department, which covers maintenance, management of the center, insurance, and a minimal amount for electricity and water. As such, they are the ones actually responsible for maintenance. We understand that this is a challenge, and therefore, from time to time, government has stepped in and assisted, as we have over the weekend.
This has been St. Martin Island Time TV News. I'm Andre Huey. Thank you for watching.